It's Tech Talk Taco Tuesday time. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Soupy Socks Enduro has been waiting with his feet up for this show. He's already in the chat, already chiming in. It's good to see everybody. My name is Jimmy Lewis. This is your show where we talk about motorcycle and motorcycle-related products. I'm no co-host tonight. Just got Matt here. Pushing buttons.
Yeah.
And this show is not brought to you by BBC, the BBC.
It is not. No. And the securities are in place. I apologize if you were in the Zoom
exposed to that last
yeah.
week. Yeah, somebody played a little trick on Matt, and I was kind of hoping that we were going to get more views than ever because of that.
We clipped that pretty fast.
But don't they want to come back and look to see what they did?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. I banned the guy from ever joining a Zoom chat again. So.
Well, yeah, him and his 10,000 mirrored friends.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. Like if he punked us, like that. The thing is, you don't just do it and then walk away. You tell all your friends, hey, look what I did.
Right,
So in the description of the show, did you put something about this?
No.
Oh, you should have.
Because when someone's trolling you, you just ignore it.
No, you troll them back.
It's a feedback loop.
Oh, yeah.
No. I mean, you can troll them like this.
Well, you make them think that he got his thing through. You make them think, and then they have to go and like look at it and watch. You imagine how horrible it'd be to find your 5 seconds of fame in this stupid hour-long show, 2-hour-long show, whatever it is.
Well, we clipped it, so he can't really find it.
I know, but you should in the link. It should have said something like, the show description. It should have said something like, we got whatever we got it. I don't even know what that was. But cheers, everybody. Mark, good to see you again. Your shirt's in the mail. And by mail, I mean it's a male size shirt, not a female size shirt. It's here being processed. So don't worry. Tonight is Huzzah. Tequila, I think. Yeah. I think it's the same tequila I had last time, but I'm going to have a little bit of that. And we have I heard we have really good Roosterandos. We might have a surprise.
Oh.
I might have a surprise, and I might get a surprise. But did you?
We got surprised last week.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you put the link in the thing?
Yes.
Okay. The link for the chat or whatever it's called. The link.
Yeah, for the hot seat hotline.
The Seat Concepts hot seat hotline.
Yep, and I'm monitoring it right now.
Good.
So.
And this show would not be possible without the help from a lot of our awesome sponsors. Hey, Yamaha, we've got WRs, a WR450 and a WR250 and a TTR 230 coming.
Yeah. Are they going to be here Friday?
Probably no. I never thought about that. Maybe I could, maybe I'd get Heather to go grab one of those.
Because I'm looking forward to the
TTR.
Yeah, especially the TTR.
Yeah, you're such a kiddo bike.
Well, I definitely want to I deal with beginner riders. I definitely want to know what's the best bike to recommend to beginner riders.
Right.
And right now, it's pretty hard to beat that CRF 250F.
Oh, no, the Yamaha TTR is going to be way better. Yamaha, sponsor of this show, and along with Moto, who brings you Roosterando. That segment is lining up to be good tonight. Scott Sports, Climb, DDC, one of our original sponsors. Our original sponsor, actually. Trail Tech, Fasst Company, Seat Concepts, Bulletproof Designs, and Double Take Mirrors. Of course, you can always support this show. Please, when you're buying your motorcycle parts, click through our link on Rocky Mountain MC ATV MC. It's always the ATV first. And if you're shopping on Amazon when you're buying a new big screen TV, just click through our link. Yeah, it helps.
Support DBT link.
Yeah, so go to support DBT. It's on our website. It just says up at the top support. And Yamaha, winner of the Seattle Supercross. The Supercross series is at that phase of the season where I don't remember who won 2 days after it happened.
Oh, really?
And it's all the same to me now. It's just a bunch of motorcycles racing, going over jumps. And it could be really good racing, and I think it was in Seattle. Was Seattle good?
It was good until about the last 15-minute mark, and then it was like, okay, we know who's going to win now.
Yeah, it's good, but
I mean, this season is these last couple.
The races are all pretty good, but it's like I've seen so much of the same, going over jumps and doing all the same things, and the track doing the same things, and the announcer saying the same things. And how many times can we say Monster Energy, Monster Energy? It's like,
my God,
it's almost. I mean, I get excited to watch it.
Yeah.
And then I'm done watching it, and it could have been the same one for the last 5 or 6 weeks. And I mean, I really do enjoy watching it, but
yeah, see, I still really enjoy it. Like,
anyways,
I schedule time to watch it, and
yeah, I that's a good thing to do on a Saturday evening. I actually this time I actually watched it live. I mean, it just happened to be around.
Oh, perfect.
Good time. So, hey everybody. So I was going to ask for people that are in the chat right now, if you're in there, what could we do to make this a better show?
That'd be awesome.
I'm just looking for, it's probably the worst thing I could ever do is ask the Peanut Gallery what they think. Mm-hmm. But, people have opinions, and it's their show. Like I said at the beginning, it's not my show. It's their show, which is really, they're kind of, turned a page in my life, and I'm willing to let it go a little bit. And so, make this your show, and tell us how we can make it better. I know what I need. I need a soundboard. I need
the sound drops. And
drops.
everything.
Yeah, I need to get that programmed into my computer here somehow. I researched it about like 6 or 8 months ago, and I got someplace with it. I know we can use the little keypad that you have over there.
Mm-hmm. There's a way to do it.
That can actually do it.
It's just
because I want to go farm some sounds that could really make this show a lot more fun, because they would all make fun of you.
That's very fair. I deserve it.
Yeah, you sound great, by the way.
I sound a lot better than I did Sunday.
Yeah.
Did you hear me at all?
You made your client wear a mask.
No. He came in with his own mask for the allergies, and he swears up and down it helps.
Really? Why aren't you wearing a mask?
Because
I'll get you one.
Well, it's a little too late for me. Like I was actually sounding a little bit better. Today was the first day. I had a 2-hour window where I actually sounded like myself. Mm-hmm. And then driving down the hill coming into Pahrump, I could just feel it.
You're just so when you come out of Vegas and you come into this valley here, Valley of the Dirt People,
I can feel it in my eyes.
You get allergic.
Yeah, I feel it in my eyes, and it's the allergy season that's really bad right now.
Oh, only in Pahrump.
I get it in Pahrump and Vegas, but it's worse in Pahrump.
You just need to go up to the pine tree and just pinch off one nostril and just.
I know.
Like that, and just hit it hard and enjoy the pain.
Hey, lay it out on the mirror and with a credit card, I'll do a line.
Yeah, a line of pollen.
Yeah,
that'll help you.
Build my immune system, which is so weird. I never got allergies as a kid, but every year I get older, they seem to get a little worse.
Hey, you could line it up on top of a Seat Concepts seat too. Did you know Seat Concepts seats are proudly handmade and developed in the United States by true motorcycle enthusiasts? Seat Concepts offers a wide variety of seat options, from stylish replacement covers to complete seats, as well as various height and width profiles. Each seat incorporates a proprietary formulation that is designed to provide unmatched support and impact dampening to the rider. Whether you are hitting the motocross track or gearing up for a trek across the country, Seat Concepts has a seat for you. See all the options at seatconcepts.com. And Seat Concepts, saving asses since 2009. Yeah. Great place to put your nose, Matt. Right on an ass-saving device.
I think I'll pass on that.
I'm a big fan of my Seat Concept seats. I was riding a bike today that does not have a Seat Concept seat. It was my old KTM 950 Adventure. I was riding around, and it has a seat made by another guy who makes pretty decent seats. But I just realized how good the foam that Seat Concepts uses on, especially their venture bike seats. And then I rode the KTM 390 around the other day. Yeah. With the one that I rode had the stock Power Parts seat on it, which is totally different than my one that has the Seat Concepts single seat on it, which is because the Power Parts ones is like a rally seat. It's a long seat, but it just drives you into the gas tank. It's like they didn't think about the shape at all when they made this thing. And the Seat Concepts one is so nice. Yeah. So anyways.
Well, speaking of that 950, actually, I have a question for you on that thing.
Yep. Why is it laying over on its side?
Well, I was
like a dead horse?
I was assuming oil change.
No.
Oh.
No, it has a really bad oil leak on the oil lines that come out of the motor.
Oh, that's not good. Well, I was going to ask you, how does that thing stack up to like a modern adventure bike?
it does well. I mean, it's carbureted, so the throttle response is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
It's I mean, that one runs really good. It's got a Rottweiler intake on it, so it's tuned just right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny, that's the bike that kind of kicked BMW in the ass, because BMW owned that market. And then KTM said, "Hey, we're here to play."
Right.
They did their ready to race thing, because they basically had a factory rally bike that was very similar to that in a lot of ways, way more similar than the BMW rally bike that I rode was compared to a GS, a standard GS, and it was a very hard-edged adventure bike. And what's funny is that's where they're trying to get back to. They're really trying to make the adventure bikes have that more, I would say, kind of dirt aggressive feel. And KTM missed the boat on a couple things with that thing, but it was good. It still is good. It's a fun bike to ride.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me the bike that it's most similar to is my Tenere 700.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it shows you how good the Tenere is for being a 700, how much power it puts out, and for less displacement, and then how much lighter the Tenere feels than the KTM 950. And the KTM 950 was known as a very light feeling adventure bike. So lots of good stuff there.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting.
I will do a comparison between the Tenere and the KTM, but I'm literally at this point. I actually emailed some people about I really want to work out this throttle response issue that I have with my Tenere.
Yeah. So you still haven't resolved that?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. I've had everybody tell me, "Oh, just get this, get that. Just bolt this on, bolt that on." I go, I want to know that it fixes it, because it really, it will take.
Because that's not a small deal.
No, I'm not looking for more power. I'm looking for better throttle response, and unfortunately, the throttle response that I want, it's difficult to have that and have a bike that meets emissions requirements. Got it. And I'm the guy that rides stock KTM 500s all day long, and I don't change anything, because when you get these ECUs, you lose the throttle response that they spent so much time getting correct.
Right.
You need to go take some drugs or something?
I took drugs before I got here. Believe it or not, I sounded even worse before I took.
Want my
drugs.
cat to come in here and sit on your lap?
Oh, that'll make things a lot better.
Yeah.
So actually, Brenda chimed in with a suggestion.
Okay.
So how about a segment where people send in pictures or descriptions of trail hacks to get the bike back to the truck, or DIY mods that they've done to their bike, and you decide whether they're good or bad.
Oh, kind of like a Roosterando for trail hacks.
Yeah, but you have some crazy ones.
I think that would be a great segment.
That could be a really fun one.
I would like it when people. What I should probably do is do some of mine. Mm-hmm. Explain. I mean, I do it all the time, but I should just maybe take one that make it special, and maybe have some pictures that we could post up to show, and then I would talk about what it is, and then that's a good idea, because I mean, I'm always interested in that, and I can a lot of times just tell you straight away, because I've seen people do stuff and I'm like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And they're like, "I'm doing this," and like, no, don't do that.
Right.
Here's why that does or doesn't work or whatever. But yeah, that's a great idea, Brenda.
Are we bringing back Jimmy Rigged?
Jimmy Rigged. Well, that's everything. Yeah, we could call the segment Jimmy Rigged.
Yeah,
that's my column. I remember we used to work at this magazine. Yeah, you might have heard of it. It's called Dirt Rider.
Yeah. That's where I remember it from.
All right. Yeah.
Because every now and then I like to go look at the old dirt riders at the schoolhouse.
And you put them back in order, right?
Yes.
Somebody didn't. Somebody just started throwing them all over the place. I'm like, oh god, I didn't even know how to organize them, and they're dusty.
Yeah, I promise you, it wasn't me. I'm very meticulous with those ones.
Okay. We'll have that segment coming up right after I get my soundboard.
Right.
Soupy Socks. He's a small displacement fan myself. I rode my YZ125 yesterday. I did motos on it. And a guy on an ATC. This is Prump. Guy on an ATC wearing a backpack, just tootling along. Decided to ride the entire track I was riding backwards. And so the first time it kind of it surprised the crap out of him. I saw another guy on a quad out of the corner of my eye, and so I slowed down and was paying attention. I came around this turn, and here's Joe three-wheeler.
Uh-huh.
And he was just like, ah! And, of course, he tried to turn away from me. And you know what that does to an ATC, right?
No,
They want to roll the opposite direction of the way you turn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, think about it. You turn a three-wheeler, it tries to pivot to the outside. So he went up onto two wheels, and his head was going to go into where my trajectory probably looked like it was going. But I slowed down and went around him and just said, yay. Careful.
Yeah.
Took off, kind of kept riding around, came around another section of the track, and here he is again, still going backwards. He's just he's just following kind of the burn in line. I mean, there's plenty of trails off to the side where you go. I'm like, wow, really? Okay. And you'd think after 2 times, and he got pretty shook up again this time, because this time I kind of came over a rise, and I could see him.
Yeah.
And I came over a rise. He went, oh. You think, okay, at this point, maybe I'd get off like the burnt in line. I would go out into the bushes or off to the side. Nope. Came around again. And he was just as surprised. He was just amazed that 3 different guys on YZ125s were out riding the opposite direction of him. And it wasn't until then the guy in the quad, I think, came up and talked to him and said, hey, dude, like maybe you should go a different way. I don't know.
Right.
Okay, question.
So from Jim Garbus, any maintenance recommendations on the 2017 and up KTM/white KTM/red KTMs? Mine works just fine, but just wondering while doing other winter maintenance. While doing winter. Yeah, other winter. There's a pole blocking me right here. Okay.
A pole.
Service says nothing that I've found so far.
Service says nothing.
Service manual, I'm guessing, is what he means.
Okay.
Service manual.
No, I don't think there's any special maintenance on stuff like that. So Jim, what I do, because I have a lot of those, that vintage. Actually, I think I have 2 500s that are of that vintage, and a 350 and a 250 that are of that kind of that time frame. And that's when KTM made a pretty significant weight reduction in a lot of their motors. And I was explaining this to somebody last night that they dropped a lot of pounds, but it's the same motorcycle. And you go, well, where did they lose all these pounds? And so they shaved parts down. They made things smaller. They made things what you would imagine is like less durable. And I know a friend of mine that says, I'm not buying one of those because that's 6 or 8 pounds, not enough motorcycle. Yeah. And he was thinking durability parts. And he's on a 2-stroke. Okay, so it doesn't matter. 2 strokes at that time, 217 and up, which would mean, so that's the counterbalanced motor, but not the TPI. So anyhow, but that at that point, the 2-stroke motor, because it went to counterbalanced, they shrunk it down, but it also kind of got another part in there, and then they were getting ready to do the TPI thing. It was getting the bigger ignition housing and all that stuff like that. So, but I think that I don't see any, if you're doing regular maintenance, which means you're changing your oil when it needs to be changed, and that depends on the rider. You're keeping your air filter clean. Depends on where you're at, how often that is, but you're keeping your air filter clean. And you're not doing dumb stuff like over revving or, rev limiter. Dumb stuff would be abusing the clutch. You harden the clutch. And 2-stroke's a little bit different than 4-stroke because the clutch stuff stays in the transmission and the clutch. It doesn't go up into the top end. But you're looking at your oil when you change your oil. You're seeing how much material's on the magnet. Things like this. If everything looks good, just keep doing it. I've rarely seen a bike that has high hours just have like a catastrophic failure, as long as you don't change like riding habits. You don't all of a sudden let your 19-year-old kid who's now a professional racer ride a bike that dad's been riding for 400 hours, and he hops on it and starts revving it. And then, then catastrophic. But if nothing changes, nothing significant changes, those things will last a long, long time. And when they start going, a two-stroke will... the two-strokes sometimes don't start as easy when the rings start wearing out, but there's a significant amount of blow-by. You'll notice the throttle response gets a little laggy. They might rev quicker, rev farther than you're used to. Just some of my experience with the two-strokes, but it's so easy to pop the pipe off and just flash the flashlight up in there and look at the blow-by on the rings. That's your indicator of how worn the top end is. If the clutch isn't slipping, don't worry about it. The KTM clutches are lasting forever. The four-strokes, you don't necessarily get to see the piston and the rings and stuff, but they'll start smoking. They will start and not just this puff of smoke on startup, they will constantly smoke, and they'll start using oil for a long time before they'll do something bad. The Red Bull KTM 500 that's in there.
Yeah.
That one constantly smokes. You can smell it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's always putting out it's always burning a little bit of oil. But it's such a small amount of oil, after 2 6-hour days of riding, in our class, the oil level doesn't change.
No.
It's so small. So that it doesn't take much to put some smoke in there. I'm not worried about it. Until it starts consuming oil, no concerns. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything that you need to worry about with those things. Just keep riding them and keep maintaining them. And, I mean, when you're up in the 700, 800 hours, just start paying more attention. You don't have to rebuild it because it has 200 hours on it.
Right.
The two strokes... I'm trying to think of when my 300 right now had 130 hours on it on the bottom end, and I put a piston in it, and it has another 70 or 80, and I popped the pipe off because I raced it a couple weekends ago, and I just thought, I wonder, it was held wide open for a long period of time, like an uphill sand wash, and I heard it detonate a little bit, so I thought, I'll look up in there. I pulled the pipe off, looked up in there. Yeah, it's got a little bit of blow-by, but I'm going, what am I going to do with it? Well, I'm going to go trail riding on it for the next 4 or 5 months, and then I'm probably going to go do a big ride up in Idaho. And right before that, I'll do the top end. It just works out.
Right.
So,
just so in case people don't realize, what do you mean by detonate? What are you feeling?
You hear it.
Okay.
You don't necessarily feel it. Sometimes if you feel it detonate and slow down at the same time, that's bad. That's really bad detonation. But you just like usually under a high load, you just hear it ping. It kind of sounds, it's knocking. It sounds like it would sound like somebody had a hammer and a punch and was hitting the side of your motor intermittently while you're riding. If it sounds like they're doing it real consistently, like it's really matching the RPM, that's bad. That's usually you feel it. But if it's just like every 5th, 7th, 20th rotation, 100th rotation, that's just wear and tear. I mean,
right.
just bad. It could be bad gas. It could be just jetting's a little bit off. Could just be high load on the motor and a weird throttle position. So, what is Jim? Sorry, I meant to say starter. What is he talking about?
So, like the starter maintenance? Oh, starter maintenance, I'm guessing.
Starter maintenance on a two-stroke.
I would say you don't have to worry about it unless it starts
on the 2017. I think they sealed it up way better, and I know some guys were running a little bit of oil inside the ignition side cover.
Yeah, the wet mod.
I just put a little bit extra. I just put a little bit, of a good, kind of sticky grease on the gears, on the Bendix gear and all that stuff like that. And I never really had any problems. So yeah.
And I feel like it'll start missing, like the starter motor would start missing the Bendix, and that's when I would start re-greasing it.
Yeah. And you had an older one. You had the older
2012.
12. And those were a little problematic. They were still getting stuff sorted, but they've since made it a lot better. So, yeah. And Brenda's 99 KTM still has the original bottom end in it. Good. Yeah. if you put dirt in them, they don't last very long. I put water in mine. It still works.
Yeah.
That's the only concern I have with that thing is that how it got filled with water, but then I ran it for another 2 hours after it was done, so I'm pretty sure it cleaned out all the water after that.
So when you dump it in the water and you're still riding it,
you ride it into a beaver dam.
Right. How much of a issue is it with how? So are you worried at all riding 2 hours with the water in that transmission?
No, it's all. No. I knew I was going to change it soon.
Right. I know.
There's enough, and there's enough. Like I said, for that water to get into the transmission, it had to get sucked in through the crankcase vent, which unfortunately is in the airbox, and it was easy for it to make a downhill journey. It wasn't like the old ones that used to be looped down and kind of hang out onto the ground. Those ones it was hard for it, cool down and have a negative pressure to kind of suck it back in. So there's different things, but there's enough oil lubrication, rust prevention and stuff in the oil that I knew that it was going to be able to last the 2 days that it needed to go. And then like I said, all the water that was in the top end, like got most of it out, started it up, rode it gently for a little while because it all of a sudden had a high compression motor.
Right.
And then it got hot enough to where it would basically steam it off, and then there's oil on there's already oil on all the parts coated in there anyways, and it does that. So
Brenda was saying her 99 KTM 250 still has the original bottom end in it.
Yeah, and Chris Reel with good solid information, the starter motor shafts and area under the gear needs cleaning occasionally. The grease turns adhesive and the gear drags. Makes sense. Huh. Yeah. I like I said, I have not had any problems with mine. So that's where we're at.
Oh, cool. We want to move on to some questions from
Sure.
the sheets. So Asher Petkovich. So what happened to Honda's active radical system / combustion? It was used on Honda's Dakar bike in 96. It was released for the full production on the CRM 250 AR from 96 to 99. From what I have researched, it has fixed all the two-strokes emissions and mileage problems. It also seemed to widen the power band, making the two-stroke act more like a four-stroke, kind of like the KTM's TPI.
Okay, so if you read how it fixed all the emissions problems, that was on Honda, for lack of a better word, we'll call it propaganda.
Honda PR.
So two-strokes are actually pretty clean. They're pretty efficient. And the basically what that was what it was supposed to be, or what it was intended to be, was a power valve that could alter the exhaust port height to make sure that it burnt more efficiently. And then I think in the concept they were also using catalysts in the exhaust and different things to essentially just burn everything out of it, just like a catalytic converter does on a four-stroke motor. Maybe they were using that similar types of things, but the idea was the power valve was kind of controlling that. And it was an electronic power valve back then. And they moved that technology onto, they had an electronic power valve on the CR250 motocross bike that didn't really work that good at the time. But that is kind of the game-changing thing right now with the KTM TBI bikes. It's not the changing of the fuel injectors. I mean, that does help, but that exhaust power valve that now moves so much faster it's doing it for power at this point, but they could also do it for emissions. They could do the same thing, but to get emissions reduced, you want to have higher temperatures and more burning, which isn't necessarily the best for producing power and engine life overall. So yeah, that's what's going on there.
Got it. Okay, so from our Instagram comments, Redneck Supreme Leader 69. What brand do you recommend for a timekeeping computer for traditional timekeeping enduros?
Don't have much experience with this since they don't have those that much anymore, but I tell you what, there was the final version. I used to run the ICO, the pacemaker, and there was another thing called a Ghost Rider, I believe, at the time, and these were kind of home built things that guys had made, but the ICO was pretty popular, and it basically just had an odometer. It just basically was an odometer that you just matched your odometer to that odometer. And the Ghost Rider at the time used to just have a plus or a minus, and plus meant go faster and minus meant slow down. And it also had the odometer / feature as well. But yeah, those are the ones I know of. Somebody posted a picture of another computer that was kind of popular, because I know there was a couple timekeeping enduros that I saw people post about. We missed someone's question there. Desert Adventures. We didn't like his question.
I don't see one.
We don't see your question, Desert Adventures. Yeah, Matt's been on top of it, which is really strange because usually he's not. But today, hey, if you're looking for the best impact absorbing handlebars on the market, look no farther than Fasst Company. The Flex handlebars are my favorite. They make it so I can ride day after day after day without beating up my wrists. The Flex handlebars come in many different bends and sweeps and all the things you need, heights. And they know, if you talk to them, they know based on their experience what certain bikes need, especially in the adventure bike category. Those guys are experts at getting your bike into a really nice, comfortable ride with extra impact absorption. So when you're being a ding dong and you're bottoming out your forks, you don't hurt your wrists. So
that's a good deal.
Yeah, JB Black's in there. Did you get him that chat link? He says he's got a surprise for me.
Well, he's saying missionary Matt. He's always on top.
Oh, hey, Claire. Is that Claire?
Yeah, that is Claire. She is watching.
She's glad you're finally on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you on top? Are you a top?
Well, JB Black is chiming in with that anyway. So that was strange timing for those two to come up in the chat at the same time.
Well, knowing Jerry, he's got a way of getting girls' phone numbers. I heard this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard he's got Erica's.
Is he coming out to Prump?
He's got Erica's number.
Is he going out to Prump anytime soon?
I don't know.
Because he had an idea that he seemed pretty enthusiastic about that I was kind of...
He wants to we want to go to Gene Woods' go-kart facility and do the commercial.
Yeah.
Because get some free driving in.
Yeah.
Because, I'll waive my day rate for laps in that go-kart. The Gene Woods Racing Experience in Vegas.
I'll just be glad to be
Not
there.
a sponsor of the show, but man, I have fun when I go there.
Yeah. Home of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, right?
Right. Fasst Company, www.fasstco.com. Tell them you heard about it on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. And I wouldn't be supporting them if I didn't really believe in the product. Actually, all the products on the show. We tell people no a lot of times because I can't honestly really recommend the stuff because I've used it actually, there's a lot of companies, like for instance, Seat Concepts. There's a lot of companies that make seats and good seats. And I told them, I said, if somebody asks me or, whatever, I'm going to talk about everything, but I really like yours the best. And I have no problem, but I'm not going to shut up about some other stuff if somebody asks me about it. So just so you know, we're pretty honest here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna.
What does Seth want to know?
So Seth is asking, what would make the back end of my bike kick up and pitch
Mike.
Well, we were just talking about tops and bottoms, so
right.
I kind of wanted to assume he's talking about bikes here.
Okay.
Back end of my bike kick up and pitch me forward when hitting an obstacle. Poor technique or suspension settings or both?
Without watching you ride, I'm not going to comment on your technique, but since I do watch a lot of people ride, I'm going to say that it's a combination of both. It's because even if you put a good rider on a bad bike, they'll compensate with their body position and riding to make that not happen. Now, if your body position and your riding technique is good and it's still kicking, and you want it to not kick, there's a couple things. So you think about what's happening. the first thing is the obvious is the rebound on the rear shock is too loose or too fast. That's causing it to kick. But you have to remember that the front end of the bike went over the same bump, and maybe it dove, and then that, so the front end wasn't necessarily doing its job before the back end kind of got there, and it's causing two things. So maybe the rebound on the front could be too slow. So in other words, it dove down, it never started coming back up. So that is also helping the kick. There's you got to start out, is the bike set up properly? Is the ride height set properly? Where are your clickers? Are they very far off from stock? Has somebody modified the suspension? There's so many different variables on all these different things. So yeah,
lots of stuff going on.
Lots of stuff.
Because you could also just be,
if it's pitching you forward, like you're actually getting pitched forward, then you're obviously not reacting to what the bike is doing. So I'm gonna go with both, Seth. Yeah. And he did correct himself. He it's not a mic, it's a bike.
Yeah.
Because when I ride Mike, I get bucked off too.
Yeah, we gotta be careful with those mics. All right. So this next one is gonna be a comment from one of our 250 FX comparisons. So MT was commenting, will they ever make a Honda / Cowie 6-speed transmission 250 cross-country bike? He's saying that he would be more interested in the Honda 250 RX if it had a 6-speed transmission. He views it as a really big handicap, not having that 6-speed. I'm going to say no. The answer is no, because they're not going to do this because they're based off of their motocross bike. And there's no way in the world they're going to put a 6-speed transmission in the motocross bike, and there's no way in the world they're going to design that motocross bike to accept extra weight. I mean, they're trying to make them as tight and as compact, and they're designing them for racing. I mean, a lot of times in racing, those bikes don't even have 5 speeds in them. They're running different transmissions. So, especially in Supercross. So, do not expect that anytime soon. And I'm kind of curious, like where, like as far as the 6-speed thing goes, where are you lacking? Is it top speed, or is it range, or is it, you have to gear the bike down because first gear is too tall and then fifth is not long enough? Because I mean, sometimes it's just some simple gearing can get you that extra range that you need. You just have to be a little careful about your shift points, but you're always going to suffer on one end or the other. You're always going to make first gear higher or fifth gear lower. Right. So, and yeah, I agree with you, but that's there's some other ones. Okay, so Desert Adventures. Do you completely bleed the Scott stabilizer or leave a little air like Scott suggests? Very interesting. I just did this the other day. I just bled the steering damper on my Husaberg, and so I get it pretty darn. When I'm doing it, I have it, angled over, and I modulate the arm a little bit, and it seems like that since at that point all of the valving and stuff is down in the bottom, it seems like you can work it for a long time and little air bubbles still come up. And so what I've kind of done is I'll close it all up and I'll work it a whole bunch, and then I'll open it up, and if I move it again and bubbles still come up, then I'll just cap it right back down, if there's just a little bit. But I'm not going to do it to where there's absolutely no there's essentially no air, because there's no ability for that oil to expand. There's not a reservoir or anything inside this thing. It's kind of a closed system. And so the reason they suggested it is because it does work. I have seen dampers that were basically the temperature increased and they started acting funny. So, but you think about it, when that vane is moving through there, it's forcing the air through there, and it's going to cavitate and get kind of spread out. And unless you actually feel
like the only time you really feel the air is when it's doing that free back to center, and for maybe 1 or 2 degrees over to the side, if that air is is kind of still, I would call it, if it isn't foamed yet, you're going to feel it for just a little bit, and then it's not going to make much of a difference. So yeah, do like they suggest. But if you know you're going to be in a, because I've never really felt a steering damper quote heat up from use, but if you're going to be in the same temperature for all the time, then I could see you could completely bleed it out, and then you'd have a nice system. But then if it heats up or whatever, I wonder what it would do if it cools down if there's no air in there. I don't know if it would draw air in. Who knows?
Okay, so let's move on to the next question really quick. CRF 450RX, so Max Flight was saying, I use my 450RX on the road sometimes for 20 or 30 kilometers between the trails. My question is, could I drop 2 teeth in the rear sprocket? And see if that would help with that.
Yeah, you can easily drop 2 teeth in the rear sprocket, and it would make a little bit of a difference. I mean, on my KTMs, I go between a 50 and a 52, kind of back and forth. I pretty much run them all. They're all running 90% of the time. They're all running 1450, but I can go to 52, and then some bikes I go back down to 48, just because the cool thing about the KTM is they have the block that just you flip it 180 and you can run a different sprocket. I have lots of different wheels with the DDC sprockets on them. I have 52s, a lot of 50s, and some 48s. And so a 2 teeth difference, the only time I really do seem to notice it is kind of on the road, just that little bit of drop in RPM. And I don't notice it so much on the, like first gear getting that much taller, but if I went from a 52 to a 48, it would be a real noticeable difference. Like you would notice it on both ends, but just 2 teeth, it's not that much. It's usually not that bad. So yeah, give that a shot.
Okay, so what on the cross country race bikes YZ250FX review? So Brady Kenny was asking, anyone go from the 350 KTM to the 250 FX or vice versa? He's interested in the differences between the bikes when it comes to hair scramble racing.
Between a 350 KTM and a YZ250 FX?
Yes. It's
Okay.
like the two big things. Yeah.
So since Yamaha does support this show, just tell you right now that you cannot even possibly think of any better bike than a YZ250FX for cross country racing. You know this, right?
Yeah. As someone who has raced a 250FX in a desert race setting, similar to
No, that was not that.
That wasn't a hair scramble.
That wasn't a hair scramble.
But it wasn't a hair scramble. I was about to say a hair scramble setting when I was like,
I'll be honest with you. When we rode the YZ250FX back at Randy Hawkins' ranch, this is a couple years ago, we rode that in the 450. I was just going, man, I wish Yamaha made a 350. It would be so awesome. I mean,
I think a lot of people want
the
it.
YZ250FX does make the best power, and I'm not saying this because Yamaha sports, but out of the 250s, it just makes the best usable bottom end mid-range torque. It's the only 250 you can even think about riding a gear high. It's the one you have to use the clutch the least on. It's just got really good power. But that being said, the 350 is so nice because it has the power you wish your 250F had when you're just rolling it on and riding it, and then it has the power almost of a 450 when you really start revving it. And I don't like revving a bike like in those type of races unless you're out in the open fields, but in the woods I don't really ever like having to rev a bike that much to go that fast. And I think that when you're up in the let's say the top quarter of the power band, I don't care whether you're on a YZ250FX or a KTM 350, you're hauling ass. You're pretty much putting out more power than the tire wants to handle at that point. And so, there's, like they say, there's really no replacement for displacement, and KTM has done a really, really good job of making that 350 feel lighter and lighter, more and more 250F like, and just having that extra power of the bigger bike. And the KTM does kind of have a certain lighter type of a chassis feel compared to some of the other brands in general. So, and the Yamaha has a little bit of a heavier type of chassis feel. And so they are a lot closer than you would actually think. So those are what I think.
Okay. Well, we do have someone who just came onto our Zoom chat.
See, Victor?
No.
Well,
It's,
Victor has the Mexican word of the day.
Well, here, I'm bringing him on right now.
Jerry, I got a joke for you.
Let's hear it.
It's Mexican word of the day. Matt and me have only uno taco, but it is okay. Wheelchair.
That's from Victor.
That's from Victor.
Did Victor use some text to speech?
I don't know, Victor. That didn't make any sense at all.
Not
He's
at all.
drunk
It
on
sounds
bad
like-
salsa.
It could be true.
Yeah. I was expecting better from him.
Jerry, you're living in a dark world there. We can see that on the screen right now.
It's funny because I don't have any lighting experts, and I am currently in the belly of a whale, so that's what it
The
looks
belly
like.
of a whale. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's moody,
I had
isn't
a-
it? Could I have
Moody,
like all these
yeah.
theater lights and Hollywood shit?
It's dark. We'll just keep it there.
I got the black T-shirt note though. It's black T-shirt, black ball cap night on TTTT.
This is correct. So Jerry, nice of you to join in. You are on the second most favorite Tech Talk episode ever.
Me and Gene Woods. Don't leave Gino
Right.
out.
Wait, second favorite.
What is
Are we
now?
going by
Let's
my list?
find out. Get to the pointy end of the stick. What is the number one all time most popular 5-star? You missed it if you didn't see it. TTTT show.
Crazy Nate, the show with Crazy Nate on it, and I'm just going by one vote. One person told me this, so I'm sticking with that.
I'm happy. I'm happy with the podium finish.
It's my show. I run the numbers.
I know. You keep reminding me every time I see you.
You could come back on for a second shot because sometimes now that you know the ropes, you might be able to manipulate them a little bit.
And I have a good idea for a pizza trick. So, Matt, I didn't forget your idea, that thing I discussed with you when we were at the Amy Expo, and we are going to make it happen. Just we're all super busy in this high-tech world.
We are all busy.
We really
it's all
are.
good.
Matt, did you get the email I sent you with the surprise?
Oh, you sent me an email.
The joke is one taco, but we will share. It's the Mexican word of the day. We'll share.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't say it right. I didn't pronounce it right.
I have a way better joke than that.
Oh, Jerry, I like
Matt
the
and me
surprise.
only have uno taco,
Okay,
but it's okay.
Matt.
We'll share.
Matt, hold on to that thought for 1 second. I have a joke.
Okay.
You want me to tell it?
Oh yeah, go ahead and tell
Oh,
it.
you're a freaking brave man, lad. Okay, it's a Las Vegas joke. So you're one flush away from Pahrump when you're in Las Vegas, and here's the joke. Guy comes home from work, catches his wife feverishly packing a suitcase. He goes, "What are you doing?" She goes, "I'm moving to Las Vegas. I found out guys will pay me $500 to have sex with me. Something I do for you for free." He whips her head around, starts finishing packing. She's pissed off, and he's just standing there in the doorway going like, "Wow." So he grabs his suitcase, he throws it up on the bed, and she goes, "What do you think you're doing?" He goes, "I'm moving to Las Vegas too." She goes, "Why?" He goes, "I want to see how you're going to live on $1,000 a year."
Hey Jerry, this is a motorcycle show.
I know.
You couldn't have thrown in like she was going to ride off on her Honda Sierra 450 RX with the two teeth lower on the sprocket.
Right.
Yeah,
I was
or
just
something like
passing
that.
on
Yeah.
the joke as it was told to me. I left out the swears, though.
That's good. Appreciate that. It's a kid's show.
All right, so Matt, tell me what
Okay.
you think.
I like it. I quite like it actually.
Should we reveal?
I think we should reveal if Jimmy, you want to see this reveal?
Okay, Jimmy, you know I'm your number one fan. You're the world's fastest slow bike rider. We were roommates in Peru at the Incas Rally in '96, and we've had a special bond ever since, even though we were totally clothed. So I'm always
Right.
about sharing the love. I see you've got a lot of fuck you racing stuff on the set. So my good friend Tim Beaumont and I, aka Itchy Sky Design, he's in the UK, I'm in the United States. We collaborated. I actually hired him to do his end of this deal, and then I did the treatment. So we have a brand new Tech Talk Taco Tuesday T-shirt, and Matt has it. You can show it.
Really?
Yeah. So
I'm surprised.
here's the design, and then let me get download the actual T-shirt concept.
Look at that.
Image of it. Yeah, I quite like it.
Live premiered right here. I needed some good news today. This is good.
And this is what it looks like on the T-shirt.
On the T-shirt. It's
Yeah.
on a T-shirt.
Big mock-up,
There we
like
go.
a graphic.
Yeah.
Matt, when did you get the T-shirt? You modeled that?
No, I just got this 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, but you modeled it earlier. I recognize your tattoo.
Oh, yeah. You know me. I wear
Drew
tattoos.
that on with the Sharpie.
Yeah.
That looks
That's
good.
Hold on. I have that blocked right now. Keep it held up, Jerry.
Well, help. I'm being
Held cap.
Jerry, you told me you're gonna have a surprise for me, and that's good. I'm stoked. It was funny. I was
Surprise
going
number
through,
one.
I was
Surprise
going
number
through something
one,
the other.
I came on the show. Surprise number two, I'm in the belly of a whale. Surprise number three, I had a Las Vegas joke. Surprise number four, you have a brand new design T-shirt. And surprise number five, I admitted my undying love for you.
Oh, yeah, bingo.
That's awesome.
Thank your friend for helping out with that. Thank you, Jerry. That's
Well, you can
super
thank me
cool.
because I actually paid him to do that. But I'm not holding it against you. And here's what we got going. I'm having some T-shirts printed, and they're going to be sent up from the luxurious high desert of Southern California, where the meth labs run free, aka Victorville, by my friend Justin. So we're going to have 6 T-shirts, white shirts with that logo on there, soon delivered, and then you can get them. I'm giving them all to you.
Perfect.
Well, we'll
I have one
make
size
sure we
for
get
Matt.
Oh, awesome.
Matt size, junior petite.
And they have the XLs for Jimmy. It's called a camel front, Jerry. I want to cover my camel front. Actually, I put a video up of me pounding.
Dose large, dose extra large.
Yeah, I was pounding some T-posts in the ground.
Yeah.
And someone decided to look up my shirt on the video. They thought it was a look up my shirt. Victor wants to be your Valentine, Jerry.
No, he's saying, Jerry, just don't hit on my Valentine.
Oh, don't hit on
Because Victor and I are Valentines.
Right. Yeah.
This is well established.
Okay, well, that's something that I wasn't aware of. So you just have to keep that spiritual awakening to yourself. That kind of creeps me out, and I'm starting to retract my thoughts.
Hey, well, we should have Tech Talk Taco Tuesday night at the go-kart track one night.
We could do that.
Why don't we?
That would be fun. Yeah.
Let's
Well,
open
I
it.
always have good ideas. Yeah, we know how to make a
drift
remote show.
Yeah.
Track.
I could host the show while I'm driving around on the drift cart. We'll just put the camera, we'll mount it on the car. I can answer questions while I'm sliding.
There you go. Yeah.
I could easily do that. Okay, we got to book it. Find out when. I'm sure Tuesday nights are banging nights down there, but
You just tell us when you want to make it happen, and we'll arrange it.
Okay, sounds good. Hey Jerry, thanks. You gotta come back out to Prump. I want a flat track with you.
I want to come out to Prump. It's been a long, long time, and it's a dream of mine to come back to the Valley of the Dirt People.
Well, hey, we got 2 bikes that are good for that flat track.
The girl at El Jefe asks where you been.
That place is so good. I have never been to Pahrump and not had lunch at El Jefe every single time. El Jefe, Chile, Colorado.
Yeah, we'll schedule a whole afternoon of fun out here, and then maybe that's when we plan. Bring Gene out. We'll plan how to use his facility for our next Tech Talk Taco Tuesday escapade. Hey Matt, throw that thing up in that picture up. There's basically a KTM 2-stroke in in a taco.
Mm-hmm.
With
That was
some
my
lettuce
concept.
and
I came
guacamole.
up with the concept, and I actually got the images to work off of, because you always have to have inspiration and things to look at. And I fired it over to the UK to my good friend Tim Beaumont, who's one of the premier motorsports artists in the world. And me and him work together all the time, doing stuff for Moto America and whatnot. And listen up, we're trying to get our foot in the door with AFT, American Flat Track. So if anybody's listening, Ralph Shaheen's trying to hook it up. So we're trying to do some designs for them. We just did some more designs the other day, but I sent it off to him. I told him the concept. He gave it back to me, and then I did the lettering and, tweaked everything and put it together. And it's going to be on 6 shirts, and you can wear them across your callous carpenter nipples in the future.
Awesome.
These are amazing.
Okay. Well,
All right. Merry
there's
Christmas.
a lot of our regular fans want that. Victor wants to come to Pahrump and make some chicken tacos, but you know what? He'll probably only make one, Matt, and
Yeah, we'll share it.
we'll share.
Yeah,
We'll share. Yeah, good. So
All
Brenda's
right.
gonna need a small, but we'll just get some children's size ones for you, Brenda. That's okay. Okay, where are we at here on this show? Is it
We're doing
time
good.
for us to take?
So,
Hey,
thank you.
Jared, do you want to stick around for Roosterando?
No,
Nope. Okay,
Fair.
I didn't think so.
Negative.
That belly of the whale.
I had to update, download stuff, type in passwords. I had to wait to do a thing with the little the line, the blue thing, the TikTok 5 minutes to go. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is bullshit.
I'm gonna
just wanna
give you
talk.
one more. I know. I'm gonna give you one more, just little bit of advice. Hope that whale that you're in doesn't get diarrhea. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and take a little break.
Yep, we will. All right, we'll see everyone.
The defending champion, the all-new Yamaha YZ450F.
What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. What is the Taco Touch? It's the best service in the industry. Virtually 24/7 tech support via email or text, and it's like having a dirt bike doctor on call every day of the year, helping you fix your bike or recommend parts or setups for you. If you've ever received an order from us, you know that the Taco Touch extends to our fulfillment, and our orders come with the coolest stickers that you've ever had, buying parts from anybody before, and a handful of root beer barrel candies. All of our Taco Moto Co. branded components come with a no questions asked lifetime warranty, and we'll even extend out the warranty of other manufacturers, OEM, and aftermarket parts where we can, sometimes for life. We test and tune endlessly and exhaustively and obsessively. We're trying to destroy everything that we can before you get your hands on it, to look for weaknesses and to improve it, or to make recommendations to the manufacturer. And if it's something that doesn't meet grade, then we don't offer it on the store. Everything that we carry is something that we have personally used, tested, and ridden, and raced, and knows meets the high Taco Touch demanding standard. Go out and get some adventure.
And and welcome back. Thank you, everybody, for supporting our sponsors. Without them, this it would be possible because all you really need is a phone, and then you could just put a piece of foam on a thing and pretend like you have a microphone, and you could do one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you actually could.
Yeah. So we're going to get right into... actually, we're going to do our...
Product of the week.
Product of the week. Bulletproof Designs. Bringing you the product of the week. And
I'm wearing this shirt, but I'm not on camera.
this is interesting. This is a thing that was given to me. It was gifted to me yesterday. I haven't tested it, but this is a product of the week.
Here, let me get it on Jimmy Cam
It's Enduro. It's ENGDURO.com. Enduro.com. And I'm going to try to angle it so you can see a little bit. But this is sort of a T-handle tool with all of the tools. And so it has a magnet in it. And it has these little attachments. And so you can kind of pull them out here and put them in here and slide it in there. And it's a T-handle tool. So, and if you have seen the video I did on the MP tool, the Motion Pro MP tool, I really like these things that are sort of these all-in-one sort of tool. So you can just take it, switch it over. And these are some engineers. It's the ENG. And they like riding enduros. And so they sort of, a group of guys kind of got together and put this thing together, made it. There's one up here. It's like, it's got more leverage and stuff. It comes with all these different sizes. Of course, it's a standard, bit. So you could kind of customize this to put whatever you would need inside of it. So if you want to, a screwdriver for adjusting for instance, hard to pull this one out because it's got an angle on it. It's tight in there with the magnet. So you have on this side here, you have a nut driver if you need that. And here you have another insert if you need more like an extension. So pretty cool little tool.
Yeah, that's actually pretty handy.
Do that, and they can actually even laser engrave your name on it, like they did with mine. So, yeah, this some Canadians, eh?
Wow!
It was amazing. They weren't normal. They didn't have like the little beady eyes, and they didn't live underground. But they were definitely from Canada, eh? And they brought this down to me, and so I said that's cool. I'll talk about it on the show. So I'm going to test it out. I will definitely. This is definitely going in my my fanny pack. And I've been carrying around the MP tool and that little zipper when I just carry just one little thing. And I'm going to see if I can replace it with just this. So pretty cool. And then we'll find out if everything hangs, because nothing doesn't seem to come out. But then you pull out. But
that's
cool.
pretty handy.
Anyways, their website is ENGDURO.com. If you want to check that thing out. And it says, say engineered. I can't see because the angle is wrong. Engineered Enduro Equipment Incorporated. Engineered Enduro Equipment Incorporated. Did that make you puke, Matt, or you just got cough?
I just got so excited.
Exactly, because they said engineer.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool.
Oh yeah,
So, anyways. Let's get right into our favorite segment of the night. That segment was brought to you by Bulletproof Designs.
Yep.
I'm still thankful that I had that Bulletproof Designs chain guard on my bike. The more I look at that thing and look at the hits it took, really, really happy. I need to get a couple more because I'm just fearful that I don't want to have to weld a swing arm. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so let's go on to Roosterando first.
Brought to you by Taco Moto. That's tacomoto.co. If you need something for your motorcycle, they have it. Especially KTM, Huskies, gases, those other colored KTMs. Yeah.
I like the graphics kits they're coming out with too.
I haven't seen them.
Oh, they're pretty cool. They're different.
Right on.
So this one first submission is going to be Gregory Perrin, 2014 YZ450F, a Cherubies 3-gallon tank. Cherubies handguards, dirt bike test mapping, 18 rear rim with 525 cheater tire, front Starcross 6 soft intermediate with nitro mousse, TM Design Works chain slider and chain guide, FMF pipe with spark arrestor, ODI lock-on road grips for oversized mitts, 1.8 radiator cap, poor man's steering dampener, Cycra skid plate.
Which means he over tightened the steering stem.
I'm guessing. Cycra skid plate and power flow body kit. Outlaw Racing tall seat. Harbor Freight angle grinder for sharpened foot pegs, also lowered with said angle grinder.
Whoa, that's risky.
Yeah. So let's go here. Pro taper clutch lever, stock gearing with O-ring chain. Thank you for consideration of an actual dirt bike, not a $20,000 dual sport / supermoto / snow bike / adventure bike. Roosterando suggesting separate weeks for separate bikes, like an adventure bike week or a dirt bike week, etc.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out where that photo is taken. I like the bike. I like that looks sweet in all white Yamaha.
Yeah. And this 2014, this was the first year that this reversed engine came to public, right?
2014? What? No.
Oh, no, it's the first year for the 250s to be reversed.
Was it 2014? I think so. Yeah, it sounds about right. That's a good looking bike.
Yeah, really solid.
Yeah, it looks like it's well maintained. It's nice. It's got all the stuff, the different things on it.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that taken? It looks kind of, it's deserty.
Yeah.
It's pinion. That's like kind of those pinion piney things. Going with Utah, someplace in Utah. Looks like Utah.
Something tells me like more northern Arizona.
Oh, really?
Well, no, the dirt doesn't really.
Not
line
enough
up.
pricks.
Yeah.
Arizona has a lot of pricks.
Uh-huh.
And then they have cactuses in the out in the desert too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard the
Right.
area has a lot of pricks.
Yeah, I like it. Roost. It's fully roost.
Solid roost for me too. Needed it.
It looks like it's up in the mountains. You see the clouds in the background. It looks
Yeah.
pretty cool. It looks nice.
Okay.
Matt's
Excuse
coughing
me,
up a storm
sorry.
over there.
It's that post nasal drip.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're having a great time.
Hey, I'd like to give a shout out to my buddies over at Inside Line Moto. Tim contacted me and told me he liked the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Actually, I told him he should come on and be a co-host sometime.
Probably.
Because they've come out and taken the school before.
Mm-hmm.
Tim and Matt there, and they obviously see a lot of stuff since they're working on customer bikes all the time. I know I used to take stuff down there. I used to go hang out in their shop every once in a while to see what was up. But
Yeah.
it's good to see. They always listen to it on the thing. I hope they don't have to turn it down too much when Jerry comes on and he uses those blasphemous words that aren't suitable for children.
Yes.
It's okay. It's not a kid's show anymore.
It isn't after last week. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if you saw
Brought
what
to you by the BBC. That's not the British Broadcasting Corporation either.
and if you saw what I had to moderate tonight, then yeah. Okay. So this next one.
Oh,
is
that's
gonna
why
be-
you're all excited over there. Jeez,
Oh, yeah.
Matt.
Very happy. All right. This next one is going to be Robert Nantista.
Hey, Jerry, I hope you're still watching. That's a tribute to Gio Sala right there. I remember when that guy was doing nothing but win on those things.
So this bike is hot off of the cleanup and restore line. It's a Gio Sala / team.
See, I called it.
Team Ferrari.
Farioli. Yeah.
KTM 90s Vibe tribute bike. Mix and match KTM Honey Orange with modern KTM
Brenda
Orange.
is getting super excited seeing this bike too.
Probably. Let's see here. That's another Falk Racing San Diego production. It's a new used frame, FMF gnarly pipe, FMF turbine core silencer, fully rebuilt Crabby is what he calls it.
Does he ride these? I
Maybe.
wonder. I remember he fixed up an old Husky before. He had an old Husky 4-stroke, but keep going, yeah.
And I forgot to mention 1997 KTM 300 EXE. Let's see here. Radiator hoses use SX with no thermostat. Twin air filter, which he had to proxy the OEM cracked filter cage. Mooses were front and rear. Let's see. Michelin.
Oh, if he's putting mooses in it, he's probably riding.
Yeah, definitely. Michelin Enduro Medium 90-90-21. Shinko MX216 140-80-18. Moto Tassinari. I'm blaming it on. I'm trying not to cough at the same time.
Okay.
V-Force 3 reed cage. Ignition all cleaned up. Was filled with water and corroded. BRP chain guide. Rinthal chain wheels. UFO plastic Enduro kit. It's the EU old style Enduro style lighting. Handlebars or Rinthal handlebars. Bar at bar pad FX, Cherby's hand guards. He put some of this stuff backwards. Like he put the object and then the brand. Redline synthetic 80 weight gear oil with excellent additive.
Okay, just hold on. Oh, I gotta slow down here.
Yeah,
We don't need to know
the oils
in your motorcycle for Roosterando. This bike was roosting right until we got to the oil.
Would it be roosting if you said Rotella?
No, I don't care. I don't know if this is starting to sound like Roosterando or for sale.
Actually, that's why it has the mousses in it.
Roosterando are going to auction.
Blackbird Italia seat cover and a bunch of little things like orange rim, lock caps, other hardware, graphics, wiring, switches, and lights. Basically, FIM Enduro spec race bike from the late 90s with the red plate number 101 like Salas sometimes ran back in the day.
That thing's pretty cool. You know, I don't like riding vintage bikes because they just make you realize how horrible the bikes were back then.
Right.
But yeah, that'd be a fun bike to ride because it's kind of that's when bikes started getting good. They really started, 96. They started figuring they quit experimenting and started going down a certain path. Does that bike? I think it still has a linkage. Yeah, they did because I was.
It kind of
wait a minute. So I
looks like
KTM's
a
in 91, 92. Yeah, it could be PDS by that. No, I don't remember.
Well, I have a bigger image up on my screen here, and I also have some different images. It's linkage.
It's a linkage.
Yeah. Here, Jimmy, I'll show my monitor for you.
Oh yeah. So it was kind of the same chassis as the older ones. They hadn't. I don't remember when PDS came around. 2097, 90. I don't even know. Can't even remember.
Yeah, that thing's awesome. It roosts for me.
Yeah, Roost. I'll give it a Roost. Just easy on the oils. We don't need to. Next thing you know, we're gonna be. There's gonna be the one guy who tells us what kind of shock fluid he has in it.
The tire pressure.
Yeah. What he lube the throttle cable with. Yeah. The tire. Yeah. Exactly. Tire pressure.
Right. Okay. So this
98 Brenda says is when the PDS came out.
Okay. So this one is sent in from someone who's regularly in the chat from Park City Dual Sport. He just put Andrew as his name. Didn't give me the last name.
Okay.
Sorry. 2022 CRF 450X, IMS dry brake, Scott steering dampener, seat concept seat, work chassis labs engine mounts, Vortex ECU, full Yoshimura exhaust, Source off-road dual sport kit, and Race Tech springs.
What was the bike again? Is it
a 22 CRF 450X?
X. Okay. And he went with the whole ignition on it. Crazy. Yeah, probably really trying to pump that thing up. Seems like a nice ride.
Yeah.
Got a good seat on it, that's for sure.
Yeah. If it was a different color, I think I'd like it more.
A different color?
Yeah, like if it was a blue and a Yamaha. I'm kidding.
Oh.
It does have the brake.
We're trying to plug one of our sponsors, Matt?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
There's a different red bike that I think I like more coming up later.
I'm wondering why the front number plate is red and the side ones are yellow.
Because maybe he has a race number plate that he throws on there for when he's gonna race it.
Huh.
That'd be my.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused on that.
And so for a second, I actually thought this was.
I think his chain's a little tight too. Oh, you thought it was Perump?
Oh, for a second I thought it was Perump. Yeah, yeah. Now that you pointed out I can see it too. That side cover's pretty worn in though too.
Yeah, it's nice.
He's riding it.
Nice looking bike. It's got all the he's done his stuff to it.
That's is that the quick fill?
Yeah. It's got a dry brake. I don't know if there's dry brake in it, but I think a lot of times people have the dry brake and then there's a screw cap that goes on top of them.
Right.
So you got to show the new logo on the black T-shirt before the show is over.
The new logo.
But if we wait a long time, then Jerry will have to sit through all of this Roosterando when he could have actually been on the show, and so we wouldn't have to listen to you cough in between this stuff. Roost for the backdrop scenery, says Dennis, because it does look like Perump, but those are not the Perump mountains. Trump mountains don't drop off like that on the one side.
I don't know.
Utah. Wasn't his name Utah?
Oh yeah, that'd do it. So Jerry, I don't know what file you sent me, but it's not letting me open it.
Yeah.
The black one.
So yeah, Roost. That's a nice Roost.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially for the seat concept seat.
100%. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So this next one's going to be from Richard Barrows, and pray for my voice in this next, halfway through this next one.
You want me to read it?
I think I'll get through this, and then after this, though,
oh boy.
yeah, I like this one more. This is my favorite. I like this red one. 2000 XR650R at Melling Ranch from November. This picture was taken in November of 2022. This is the Spike's 18th trip to Baja. Twin 125-watt stator windings, separate DC and AC lighting system, battery behind RT radiator, Honda accessory OEM style glass lens with 100-watt halogen.
Did you expand that photo to make it look fatter and shorter on purpose?
No.
Yeah, okay. Bush pig.
Okay. So, has mounts for Super Oscars, lights wired with Teflon jacket wire, Precision Concepts suspension with hard anodized shock body, Precision Concepts carbon fiber fork guards, 4.3 gallon IMS tank with a 3.4 IMS gallon brake tank, 7 gallon. Okay.
So he has a lot of gas tanks.
He has gas tanks. He listed all of them. I'm assuming that's
Right.
the 7 gallon one on there.
No, it isn't. I don't know. You know what?
No. The 7 one, it comes out.
The 7 one actually incorporates the shrouds, unless he has stickers on the. No, that's the big. That's the 4.5 gallon tank.
1/8 inch BRP top clamps and bars. Scott Stampner, Amazon Vice bent hand guards, Amazon foot pegs, HRC flow tested exhaust tip mod, approximately 25 millimeter outlet with the HRC needle given to me by Bruce O. Warranty return seat given to me by Bruce O. Ricochet skid plate.
What is it? Warranty return seat?
Yeah. Ricochet skid plate, long straight through RT side foot peg, bolts by Paul Ostabo. Original top end, new OEM Kickstarter lever, braided steel front brake line, gaffer wave front rotor.
Golfer.
Oh, he dropped the L. Not my fault. He dropped the L. I read it as it's typed. Trail Tech Voyager, Garmin InReach mount, quad lock phone mount. In 2021, it propelled its 60-year-old rider to a speed of 80 miles per hour on the dirt in Baja.
Boy.
Trail road, single track in the Pacific Northwest, arena crossed, road Moab, whole shot at Washougal amateur race, pre-road Baja 1000, dead motor start, whole shot at Starvington Ridge against
Starvation Ridge.
Yeah, against e-bikes. Read it as it's written. It's the do-it-all bike that is now 23 years old, and it's much faster than its rider.
The photo kind of sucks, but the photo also says Mexico, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Melling Ranch is actually a really cool place if you get to go stay there. That's I remember it was on again, off again. You know, they didn't like motorcycles, liked them. You know, I think it was mostly they didn't like the Score Racing organization blasting up and ruining their roads. But what a cool place. That bike, Roost. That bike has a lot of experience, like he outlined, and it went way outside of its design parameter. And knowing the development process of that bike and how many people it tried to kill and what they actually came out with, they did a really good job. And there probably isn't a better bike to go ride down to the Melling Ranch, at least if you're not on the damn race courses. If you're just riding the fun roads and stuff like that, I've got a bike just like that sitting in the container over there.
Yeah.
Really very, very similar. Like the suspension, same suspension mod, same exhaust system, same. I have a Chirby's 7-gallon tank, 6.5 gallon tank on it, but very, very, very similar. Yeah, Roost.
Yeah, that's an awesome bike. Like I said, that's
Does it? Who is it? Rich Barrows? Yeah. Does Rich? Do you have any problems with the voltage regulators on that thing? I'm curious. I have nothing but problems with my XR650, and I have the big ignition in it also, and I have lots of problem with voltage regulators. And I also have the Baja Designs electric start as well. So, yeah, just curious.
So this next one is from Jeff Cordetti. It's a 2004 Suzuki RM250. He says it's all stock with the one exception of the Acerbis handguards and a skid plate. It spent most of its life on the track, and it's now trail and water duty for this bike.
Why did you ride into the river or the lake or the swamp? I mean, it's
There's not a trail going in there.
doesn't look like it.
Well,
But-
I kind of see it at the edge here.
yeah, I mean, there could be a trail or a road or something. It looks like there's a road behind it. But I'm kind of curious. It's not like you didn't see it, like the beaver dam I rode into. It did. Actually, you know what? I got to take this back because, so the beaver dam that I rode into, there was a lot of bushes. You couldn't get off to the side, and it was sort of.
Oh, my bad.
It was
Sorry.
sort of about that deep, like kind of going in, and right where his front wheel is, that's where it started going down, and it appeared like there was that's where the river was because it was kind of a clearing on both sides. And I figured that's where it was just going to go down and go up, but it just kept going down. So I can't really speak. It did not look as deep as it was. Is this Soupy Socks? Is this Soupy Socks' bike?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And he said this is where his name comes from.
And it's, yeah, you'd have Soupy Socks after doing. I know what Soupy Socks are. Now I know what they are for sure.
Right.
Did he come up with that name to protect his identity, and then he put what is his real name? He must have given it to us in the
Yeah, it was Jeff Cordetti.
Jeff.
If
Okay,
I'm pronouncing that
there we
correctly.
go, Jeff. So all your friends can figure out who you are. trolling in the chat. That's a good bike. Those RM250s were always, the 2-stroke ones are always really nice. I know he said he liked the 125s, but 125 would have just got stuck better, sucked more. Did you? And I think he's safe right now. If he stopped it right there, probably didn't suck too much water yet. Probably hasn't not bending the crank just yet. I'm going with Endo
Just because it's in a.
because it's in the water, but an A for effort getting the photo. Because I was wondering, I'm like, what was the first thing you're thinking? Like, I got to get my phone out of my pocket so it doesn't end up here, or so I don't lose my phone and my motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can't see enough of the bike. It's just all stock. It's just regular motorcycle. It's he said the only thing that was changed. He said the only thing that was changed was the handguards.
And a skid plate.
Oh, what about the grips?
He did not mention the grips.
Did not mention the grips. I don't think Suzuki's came with red grips. So it's gotta get picked apart.
You know, I'm gonna say, oh, it's for his YouTube channel thumbnail.
What the photo he
The
sent?
photo is, yeah.
What do you do on your YouTube channel? Does he
Getting soupy socks.
say
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, for me, this one, I actually kind of like this picture. It's a Roost. Because we don't get many Suzukis.
Oh,
It's a Roost, but
we don't get many Yamahas either, and they sponsor the show. You know how much fun I had riding my YZ125 yesterday?
a lot of fun.
My YZ125 may be a 2005, but it has a 2023 carburetor on it, and the thing rips.
Really?
Yeah, I actually
that's awesome.
I was riding and I was thinking, man, I should go race the 2-stroke nationals. I have no idea why I thought this, but they have like an over 50 pro class.
Yeah. Why don't you go do it?
I don't know. I should. I didn't have any fun racing the last time I raced. I mean, I did, but I didn't. Like, it was too stressful. It's too much thinking.
I think it's a loose program over there.
Oh, he does prize giveaways and product reviews.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Are you bald, dude, that gives away free shit? We need to give away stuff.
We do, actually.
Oh, that's right. We give a $100 gift certificate for the winner of
I was gonna say,
Roosterando.
we do give stuff away.
I forgot about that. We're just a shill like everybody else.
Yeah. So
With that, I'd like to say thanks to all of our sponsors:
Well,
Double
who
Take Mirrors, Bulletproof Design, Seat Concepts, Fasst Company, Trail Tech, DDC, Climb. I wore Climb yesterday. I've been doing something interesting. I've been wearing the negative 1.0 underneath the 1.0, which would make it a 0.
yeah, so it evens out.
It evens out, but because I perspire a little bit when I ride, especially when I'm riding aggressively.
Yeah.
And I noticed the 1.0 stuff was always super wet when I was taking it off, and I just by mistake, I didn't even know I was ordering negative 1.0. I ordered one because it was a different color, and I thought, that's a cool color. I can get one of those. So I got a negative 1.0, and I didn't know what it was, but it's for when it's warm. And I knew it was going to warm up one day, so I put the negative 1.0 on first, and I put the 1.0 on second, and I rode, and it never warmed up. And not only did I stay warm, when it got warmer, I stayed pretty dry. That extra wicking layer. So I'm going to report back to Climb about this crazy thing
That's awesome.
that I found out. So
who was the winner for you tonight?
Scott Sports, Taco Moto bringing this segment, and Yamaha, all sponsors of this show. I don't lose track of what I'm doing, Matt. I keep on point here. The winner. Okay, so the Geo Sala bike, Robert and Tisha's bike, that's a sweet bike, but it doesn't need anything. It's already been done.
It's done. It's ready to go.
Deal.
It's probably going to an auction show soon.
The Suzuki, Soupy's bike. I like the enthusiasm. I like that he was in the chat the whole time.
Yeah.
But it's sinking for me. It's sinking down the list, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's a sinking feeling.
The XR650, and that guy got back. that guy got back to me. He answered. I think he answered my question a minute ago in the chat, and I kind of missed it somehow or another. That's how much I pay attention. I was doing something else. He answered about the voltage regulator or something, which is what I kind of wanted to know. XR650. I like that. I like the first Yamaha we saw.
For me, it was the XR650. And actually, I'm a copycat, or that Yamaha.
Okay.
I lean towards that XR650.
And what's the one? Which one are we missing?
The CRF 450X.
The CR. It's just too normal.
It was too vanilla.
It just ran down the middle of the road for me. That's right. That's how I already forgot. It's kind of like the racing that happened this weekend. I already forgot about it.
For me, Richard, and then Gregory's a second.
So, it's a total toss up for me. Mm-hmm. And is Richard in the chat? Richard's in the chat. Gregory's not.
I don't know if either of them are in the chat. Actually,
I think Richard was. He was answering. Oh, Mark answered the voltage regulator question.
Yeah. I was gonna say it wasn't Richard.
Okay, so neither of them in the chat.
No.
So good. I won't get instant hate from the one that's not here.
No.
Oh boy, that's a tough one. What do you so okay?
For me, it's the XR650.
It's the XR650.
I liked all the story,
of all the stuff
it's done, and how this is just his bike, and he's just keeping going on it.
Right.
So to keep it going, he deserves the $100 Taco Moto.
There's a lot of XR60 love in the chat right now.
Yeah.
So that's where it's going to go. I have to agree. For me.
There he is, by the way.
Oh, good. Okay, so
Rich
is in the chat. I thought so.
Perfect.
So there we go. You win because you're in the chat.
Yeah. All right.
Richard is in the chat. Yeah, Rich says Richard is in the chat.
Reach out to me at Matt at Jimmy Lewis Off-Road, and I'll get you dialed in.
Yeah, hey, thanks for submitting those. It's always kind of fun to check out everybody else's bike. Yeah. If you wonder what we're doing, we have this segment. It's called Roosterando. You send us a picture of your bike, your make and model. We put the best submissions that we get, or the submissions that we feel will give us the most joy, into the show, and then we talk about it. And even Soupy's congratulated him. Soupy, next time you get a picture of your bike, out of the water, maybe send it back in.
Yeah.
see how it's doing. But I gotta check out I'm gonna check out his YouTube channel.
Yeah, I will too.
See what's going on. So that's gives us something to talk about. It brings up some interesting things. So if you want to do that, just send it to Matt at JimmyLewisOffroad.com. And we will add it to the show. So if we don't have any other questions kind of coming in.
Jerry did send me one more shirt.
Okay, he's going to show you a picture of the shirt, which is great for all the podcast listeners, by the way.
So it's a black Talk Taco Tuesday shirt. It's the same design, but it's black.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta
I everyone to see it.
Yeah, because if you're really into the arts and the designs and things like that, you can tell a little bit. And Victor says that XR650 is a Forrest Gump of a bike.
Yeah, it just keeps running.
keeps on going. But anyways,
I don't know if my voice has much more in it.
yeah, Jason even says he'd buy the T-shirt. We're gonna have to get some of those T-shirts made. I need to do a T-shirt run because I need to get some T-shirts for the schools made.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. Hey, Mark, you can want a shirt all you want, but it just takes a little while for it to get out the door around here.
Yeah, especially with that Ricky Brayback signature.
Yeah, the Ricky Brayback signature is getting harder and harder to get these days. That guy, I don't know. Yeah. He was talking about coming to riding this week, but I don't know. I'm going someplace else. So, anyways, thanks everybody for joining in. If you have questions, comments, or concerns about the show, like Brenda, who told us how to do the tell us your trailside tips. Maybe the person that gives us the best trailside tips on the next show might be getting one of those taco shirts.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. So you can comment on the chats. You can always send them to us via email. I actually have kind of stopped answering a lot of the questions that I'm getting, and now I'm throwing them back into the show. So I might send you a response to the question I get. Tech Talk Taco Tuesday number whatever it is. What show is this? This is 182?
Yeah.
182 shows. So, we'll answer your question. You're getting it from a guy who was trying to save you some money or just pimp our sponsors, I guess. Yeah. It's the only way you can fix the problem is by using one of our sponsored products. Otherwise, I would tell you how to, back bleed your brakes or makes your brakes work good again. Or I could tell you how to, if you want more power in your bike, how to turn the throttle farther, makes your bike go faster.
Which it blows me away how true that is, because ever since you talked to me about how I'm twisting the throttle on that 250FX, different bike.
Oh.
Like, I've been riding a lot differently lately.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, okay. T-shirts again would be sweet. Yeah, we still have a lot of old T-shirts. I need some small women and children to order T-shirts. Actually, that's what you should do. What's going on for episode 200 tequila special? Yeah, for sure.
I just did get an email, so Gregory is watching live.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, thank you for the submission, Gregory, but I think the XR650 still won.
Yeah.
So,
where was his photo taken? But he sent you an email.
Yeah, emails.
He doesn't know how to get in the chat. That's okay.
Yeah.
Hard to do these days.
It's all good.
Okay, everybody. Well, thanks again for watching, joining in. Tell a friend. It helps us. Shop through our links on support DBT at the website. Check out what Trevor's got going on over at DBT.
Yeah, he's got some cool stuff.
I'm working on a Tenere vlog. I got all the stuff uploaded into this computer. I just need to do it. And Dennis Faldorf says he's looking forward to some balance and traction this weekend. Hey, it's our last school. We do have a couple spots.
Yeah, we still have spots.
A couple spots left for this weekend's class. If you want your last chance to become a better rider this year, this is probably going to be the last one. So I just got lots of other stuff going on. And come visit us out in Pahrump. Take a class. Walk away a better rider. Best $1,000 you'll ever spend on your motorcycle is to put a better rider on it, is what we always say. So, Matt, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Jerry, thanks for joining in. I know it was a chore. Get out of the belly of the whale. Hope it's as fun going out the other end as it was getting in. And